Gentlemen, this evening we are welcoming Discovery Oaks Elementary Chorus. Let's give it up for them. And we thank Krista Allen, their music teacher, for being here this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would venture a guess that there are a number of high school students and maybe even a few teachers out there when asked, how many of you learned that song? You would all be going, oh yeah, yeah, and I used it in history and I used it in social studies and a few others. And I'm sure there are even a few Jeopardy recipients who, have learned that song. So thank you, thank you. I'd like to introduce Chaplain Reese Edwards, who is the chaplain at Orange Park Medical Center, to provide our invocation this evening and to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise if you're able.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we're always thankful for what you give us each and every day. We thank you for this great nation, the nation that you provided freedom of speech and education and all the freedoms. We can never thank you enough. Lord, we thank you for tonight, for this opportunity, for the business, and the business that will help our children in years to come. Give them, Father, I pray, divine wisdom and knowledge as they conduct the business tonight, today, and forever. Thank you for what you have done and all the precious memories that have been made in this great country. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
If you would please join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm certain there are a number of parents here this evening whose children just performed. If you would like to leave and go greet your children, feel welcome to do so. Thank you. And thank you for coming this evening. At this time, I'm calling the school board meeting to order for April 6th, 2022. Welcome, citizens of Clay County. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend tonight's school board meeting. This meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you wish to address the board on an agenda item, there will be an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Please fill out a card, which you'd find at the back table, and indicate what you would like to speak about, and hand it in to one of our officers. They will get it to us in a prompt manner. No additional cards will be accepted once the board moves to the public comments section under presentations from the audience. Your participation is welcomed and appreciated. Moving right along, Mr. Daly, close the door. No. Thank you. The artwork located in the display cases has been done by Coppergate Elementary students. Sarah Hamill and Francesca Weeks are the art teachers there, so make certain that if you haven't had the opportunity to go by and take a peek. We're going to start this evening with Mr. Scrolamo, who is going to be recognizing some of our state champion athletes. Woo!
All right, good evening, Superintendent Broski and school board. So nice to see all of you again. And I want to start by saying Florida is the best of the Nifty 50. That was fantastic. What a course. I was hoping they were going to go triple time, but they probably do at school, but nevertheless. Tonight's just an unbelievable night, very special day today. Today we had the Clay County Track Championships at Orange Park High School. All 7 high schools were competing, so it was really cool to see all of them in one place. But tonight is extremely special. There are student athletes that make it all the way to the NBA or the major leagues or the NHL, and coaches that coach for 40 years and never win a state championship. But everyone that we're recognizing tonight has received that ultimate triumph. And I want to also say it's very fitting with March being Women's History Month and this being the 50th year of Title IX. The ladies have rocked it. There's only one male that's going to be recognized tonight. So a lot to be proud of. So to get started, I would like to welcome up to the front. We're going to welcome them up here, and then we're going to talk about them. I'm going to say this just because it's important before they walk up here. This is the first girls weightlifting team, as a whole team, not just individuals, to win a state title in Clay County history. So that's a big deal. Welcome them up, the Clay High girls weightlifting team. We like to hear that clink, clink, clink. Okay, cool. So, like I said, that this is the first team that has ever won a state championship in Clay County history. There's going to be some other caveats of this group because some of these ladies won an individual state championship. But before I present them with the certificate, An athletic program is only as good as the coach. And I can tell you that this guy right here is one of the best. He was actually just named the Florida Dairy Farmers Coach of the Year for the state of Florida. Make some noise for Mr. Rodney Keller. But we have seen the sport of girls weightlifting really transform, and this is their motto. Coach, what it is, just show up. Just show up. So he's created a culture on their campus of inclusivity and getting girls involved. The next thing you know, their team grows to 20, 30, 40 girls on a girls weightlifting team. So I'm just going to go ahead and present the team, the first ever Clay County girls weightlifting team, Clay High Girls Weightlifting. Congratulations. So before we recognize the individuals, I'm going to have Coach Keller just name each girl that's with us here tonight. There are some that are stuck in the traffic, too. Come on up. Here they come. Okay.
Yeah, seeing that the motto of our program is just show up, I will also share with you that we have about 10 girls with other obligations tonight between flag football and track meets and all these other things going on. They're just showing up for their teams and other obligations they have tonight as well. Come on up, Ansley.
Yeah, we'll get another one.
No, it's been a very, very special year for our girls in our program. It's been an absolutely incredible thing to be a part of. We've got 20 girls that were in our district lineup here back in January that were three-peat district champs, three-peat region champs, and won 2 state titles back in February. The girls that are here tonight, first off is Miss Ansley Lyda. Next is Miss Ketney Gideon. Next, Miss R.J. Gideon, Kylie Lafari, Miss Janiyah Stevens, Miss Emma Heck, Miss Ansley Wiesman, Miss Lily Jordan, Miss Abby Blaylock, and Miss Rory Sowers.
So now we'd like to recognize you ladies. Just stay up there for me. When I call your name, to step forward. These are the young ladies that won individual state titles. So the way that it works is every individual championship you win, you gain points for the team title. Our first one is Kylie Lafari. Did I say it right? Yep. Congratulations. And you can note she has 3 medals, which means she won traditional and snatch, correct? Yep, they add. Oh, there you go. Oh, she's got 3 medals. So congratulations. Our next winner was actually a Clay County Student Athlete of the Month, Miss Janiyah Stevens. And this next young lady is going to be special. She's only a freshman. She just turned 15 years old, and she's also the 2A Florida Dairy Farmers Lifter of the Year, Emma Heck.
Mr. Scrolamo, just a quick comment. For those of us who were athletes prior to Title IX, and yes, I am showing my age, I just want to say how proud I am of these ladies for keeping it up, just showing up, because that is critical, and that is exactly what we need to continue to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, we have some more exciting historic news coming, so that's awesome. So first, did Garrett make it by chance? Oh, fantastic, awesome. This next young man, just an incredible story, a really incredible story. As a junior, had a situation where he wasn't able to participate in the state series, and then as a senior came back, went all the way and won a state champion. He's signed to Coker College to wrestle in college. He's been a Clay County Athlete of the Week, state champion, Mr. Garrett Tyre. So keeping with the history, this was the first year that the Florida High School Athletic Association sanctioned girls wrestling. And I'm also very proud to announce that at this year's All-County Award Show, we have the inaugural All-County Girls Wrestling team that'll be recognized. So that's going to be fantastic. This young lady actually has won back-to-back state championships. She won the non-sanctioned version last year, and then this year, the first year, they only had one state champion per weight class for the whole state. So it's a real, two of them were from right here in Clay County. Make some noise for Madison Blackburn. Madison will also be continuing her academic and wrestling career at Bruton Parker College, so she'll be wrestling in college as well. Our next state champion also won back-to-back state championships, and she's also wrestling in college at Mount Olive. She's an Orange Park Raider. Make some noise for Andrea Smith. All right, this final one, sorry, I have to give credit where credit's due, and there's a lot of credit due with this one. The Florida Dairy Farmers Association said that the hardworking men and women of the Florida dairy industry are honored to recognize the significant accomplishments of these amazing student athletes, said CEO Michelle Cooper. We're excited to support a program that has been a great tradition of encouraging excellence on the field and in the classroom, and we're proud to support students that have the special mix of work ethic and determination required to succeed at both. This young lady was named Miss Weightlifting for the state of Florida. Now here's why that is important. These are the former winners of the Mr. and Mrs. Awards from dairy farmers. Tim Tebow of Nice High School, the former Heisman Trophy winner. Caleb Dressel of Clay High School, 7-time Olympic gold medalist. Ryan Murphy of the Bowles School, Mr. Swimming, 4-time Olympic gold medalist. And Derrick Henry, who now plays for the Tennessee Titans, who's also a Heisman Trophy winner. Right here in Clay County, we have Miss Weightlifting, who is a back-to-back state champion. She's also the reigning Clay County Female Athlete of the Year, and I think they're going to have a really hard time trying to beat her again as a senior. She's an unbelievable person. She's extremely humble, and I just really can't wait to see how she's going to make Clay County proud in her life. Make some noise, Tamira Briley. Last thing I just want to say is we also had another Florida Dairy Farmers academic recognition, and that's Mr. Caleb Moncrief from Keystone. And most importantly, I found out this week he just got accepted to Harvard University. So that's it's a big deal. I want to thank the board for their relentless support of our student athletes and the student athlete experience in Clay County. Without your support, our student athletes would not have the opportunities to succeed that they do, and we thank you. Have a good evening.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Scrolamo. That is, what an exciting group of students. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for allowing us to meet all of you. Whew. Our next presentation is for April's School Media Month video presentation. Cindy Johnson, Supervisor of Instructional Resources, will be coming to the podium. Yay, she's here. No. I understand that there was some difficulty coming to the school board meeting tonight on Highway 17. We had nothing to do with that, by the way.
I had to go all the way through Lake Asbury from
Oh,
Green
wow.
Coast Springs, so it was interesting. I am Dr. Cynthia Johnson. I'm Supervisor of Instructional Resources for the district, and I have the pleasure of working with our district library media specialists and all of the libraries across the district. Susie Gannon happens to be out of town today, so I'm here. And she, along with some students and one of our lovely schools, helped prepare a short video clip for everyone. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Thank you.
Clay County Schools celebrates National School Library Month each year during the month of April. In this month, our school district takes time to recognize the programs, services, and resources provided by our school libraries. Our Clay County School Libraries give students opportunities to connect with information and become informed decision makers. School libraries support such programs as Battle of the Books and the Clay County Student Media Festival. As Albert Einstein famously quipped, "The only thing you absolutely have to know is the location of the library." Be sure to stop by your library and say thank you to your library staff. While you were there, you might just find the perfect book.
I love the library because it's the best, because I can get a lot of many books that's good, because the sunset can read books for us.
What we love about our library here at Lake Asbury Junior High School is there's always something exciting to engage students and get them involved with reading. For example, in celebration of Valentine's Day, students could come in and have a blind date with a book. For Celebrate Literacy Week, students could come in and grab a poem for their pocket and some library swag to commemorate their participation in that week. And then students could come in and connect their favorite staff member with that staff member's favorite junior high book. There's always something exciting going on in our library.
I like the library because I get many cool books and I love to read.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. And we are looking forward to the Battle of the Books is coming up, along with the Jim Harbin Movie Festival. And I know that Ms. Karakis is really excited. She's been begging for the Battle of the Books to come back now for years. So it's like you've made her year. Thank you. Very good. Our next presenter is not here yet. Oh, she is. Michaela. Okay, great. I knew that you were in that traffic jam. Miss Buchanan, Michaela Buchanan, is the executive director of the Clay Education Foundation. And when she has presentations like this, we are always happy because she's coming up with something big. Yeah.
Thanks. Yes, the traffic's wonderful out there. Before I talk about the check, I will just say congratulations again to all the girls with the weightlifting. I was never that successful in weightlifting in high school, but good for them. So we are so excited. We're always excited to come and share the great work going on at the Clay Education Foundation. And tonight, I have the honor of recognizing a new partner with the Education Foundation. So Growing Healthy Smiles Pediatric Dentistry, if they want to come up here, they are awarding the school district $1,000 tonight. Yay. to support an initiative that we've been working on for 2 years now, but will be growing exponentially next year in the reading department to support early literacy. So we're really excited to pilot a cool program that you'll learn more about soon at one of our elementary schools that they are helping us do. So thank you, Dr. Beth Kales and our board member, G. Teven. And we're going to take a picture if you guys want to come down. Oh, and she may say something. Yes.
Good evening, board. Thank you for having me. I am Dr. Beth Kales. My office is right across the street. I just wanted to say teachers have a special, special place in my heart. I grew up having dinner at 5 o'clock, and right after you clear your plates, and then you are doing homework while your mom grades papers. My sister's a teacher, and as a doctor, we are teachers of our children too, and I just want to say thank you so much. And because of all the supportive teachers and coaches in my life, I've had some amazing opportunities, and have also had the chance to play athletics in college. So really excited to present this check. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been a remarkable evening already. And then we get to move into our school showcase. Discovery Oaks Elementary, we heard them earlier. We have a few teachers here this evening, and whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, you can be louder than that, it's okay. Miss Tracy McLaughlin, it's so nice to have you here.
Yes,
Principal
thank
of our
you.
newest school, Discovery Oaks Elementary.
Yes, yes, thank you, board, for having us here tonight. We're really excited. We do have a few of our teachers, and our chorus did an amazing job. All right, we got our slideshow up. So, as you all know, we've been open for 4 years, and so at 4 years, DOE is still the newest K-6 elementary school in our district. With a current enrollment of nearly 900 students, our school's focus is on embedding STEM education into our daily curriculum. All students have access to technology, robotics, coding, video production, and a wide range of science lab materials. We maintain high expectations for all of our students. We encourage critical thinking and problem solving across the curriculum. And we're very proud of this, in spite of shutting down for COVID and having a third of our school OCO, we continued to maintain our A school status. So that, kudos to our teachers and our parents and everyone for that, because it was like running 2 schools at once, as you all are well aware. So then one of the other things, the most significant strategies that we've done this year for improving, after coming back, for improving our teaching and learning, has been building relationships in our powerful professional learning communities. We've really worked hard to strengthen our PLCs, and each week we have different focus, whether it's data, assessments, or curriculum and new learning. And through this collaboration, this is where we're getting to our slide here, through this collaboration, we have built strong staff relationships. And again, as a new school coming together, as you can imagine, we came together, we were open a year and a half, then we were closed, now we're back, and then we're on. So that was a really big, important thing for our school. And we also have embraced the teacher leadership model, and we've empowered some of our most passionate and influential teachers to lead the learning at our school. And we feel strongly that it's through that collaboration we have improved our instruction and teacher leadership, which in entail also has helped build stronger relationships. One of our biggest accomplishments, being a brand new school, has been to develop our positive behavior and intervention support system. As you can see from our slide, this is a sample of all the different posters that we have throughout our school. We implemented that fully this year, and through a universal language, we have developed school-wide rules, which are pretty simple. Be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. And again, from our slides, you can see that we've developed school-wide expectations for a variety of settings. As you all know, you've been in schools, we need them for arrival, dismissal, cafeteria, bathroom, etc. So we've developed procedures and strategies for all of those things. We review these rules with our students and expectations multiple times a year. And we have a little video that we're going to show you that's one of our PBIS videos that we developed.
PBIS recess procedures. The wrong way. Walk on the sidewalk until you get to the playground. Keep wood chips on the ground at all times. Go down the slide the correct way. Be respectful of your classmates. Do not throw anything at others. Make sure you're using all playground equipment the correct way. And be safe. Make sure you're following all school rules.
The
The
struggle's
correct
real.
way. Use playground equipment the correct way. One student on the swings at a time. Always have fun and be safe. If you see a classmate at the buddy bench, see what you can do to help. Go down the slide the correct way.
Okay, moving on. Okay, there was a little bit more, but that's all good. As you can see, we used our teachers and our students to make that video. So we felt it important to have those real world videos. And again, as I said, being a brand new school, that was so important. We were kind of open, then we were closed. And so to bringing that back again this year full blown was really important to us. And that leads me into, again, one of our second greatest accomplishments for our school this year. We always have had, we will continue to always have strong instruction, high expectations, but really this year and moving into next year is that focus is on relationships. Not only building relationships with our teachers, but also building those strong relationships with our students. And that being said, since COVID and OCO learning, we've been really working hard to improve on that. And at our school, as you can see from our pictures, our kids are all actively involved in a lot of different activities, and we create a learning environment where we support diversity and students' individuality. That's really important now at our school, and it's one thing that we absolutely celebrate every day. Both students and staff, as you can see from some of these photos as well, participate in our theme weeks, school-wide clubs, and activities. And again, here's an image of some of our different clubs and activities. We are so thankful that we're able to start doing more at school. And some of the different clubs that we have are robotics, chorus, Girls on the Run, track, VP club, and our art club. And with nearly 200 military-connected students, we have a very strong peer-to-peer program called Anchored for Life. And so that has been a big improvement in our school and making kids feel safe because so many of their parents are deployed. And as you know, that's a lot for little people to take on. So we're really proud of that as well. And again, we have another video that's going to kind of highlight some of the clubs and activities at our school. right. And then next, as we move in, wrapping up this school year and then moving into next year, one of our growth opportunities, again, is to really reconnect with our community and to be able to have them more involved in our school. This slide here shows one of the most successful events we had even since our opening. Coach K, our amazing PE coach, organized a holiday lighted bike parade, and you can see we had over 500 people show up. We had lights, we had kids on bikes. It was right around the holidays, and it was the first time since COVID that we were really able to have people come in. And I know our families and parents are very excited to get things back, as we all have often been saying, back to normal. So that is something that we want to celebrate, continue to have our families and community members in. And again, as we move into next year, we want to continue to build those partnerships, not only with our parents and our community members, but also with our business partners, faith-based partners. And so that's something that as a new school, we're really looking forward to doing that and opening our doors to everyone. And again, finally, we have one more video that we're going to show you. And at DOE, what we like to say is we are one team, one goal, and one DOE.
Come on, guys.
My favorite thing about Discovery Oaks Elementary is the teachers and the people that are so kind.
Good morning, Go Voyagers. My favorite part of being at Discovery Oaks Elementary is being able to participate in news team for 2 years.
My favorite part about being at Discovery Oaks is being part of Chorus Club.
My favorite part of Discovery Oaks Elementary is being able to participate in the Battle of the Books team.
What I like about Discovery Oaks is my friends and PE, and I love to do stuff with my teachers.
My favorite part about Discovery Oaks is being on the Anchor for Life. My favorite part about Discovery Oaks is being a part of the track team. My favorite part about being in Discovery Oaks was being a part of Girls on the Run.
Watching our Mega Airplane Challenge.
All right, and on behalf of our entire faculty and staff, we do want to thank the board for letting us come out and showcase our school. Again, we feel like it's been a brand new year. We've been open. This will be our 4th year, and we are looking forward to wrapping things up. And once again, thank you so much. We appreciate the time. All right, and that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. McLaughlin. It's awesome. Great to see all of the wonderful things that are going on. And as you said, it's 4 years. When she said it's been open for 4 years, I was sitting there going, yeah, open and close. But still, we just had the groundbreaking, it feels like. So congratulations on a job well done to all of you. And thank you for all that you do. Very much appreciated. This is the last call for comment cards. I do have a couple of comment cards up here. If anyone else would like to fill out or complete a comment card, please pick one up now and return it to our officer. And that is the last call. So we will have a couple of presentations from the audience. A reminder that we have a 3-minute time limit, and once you begin speaking, we start the 3 minutes. Our first person to speak is Shannon Hubie. Is it Hubie or Hube? Thank you. I thought so. Wanted to be sure. And as always, please introduce yourself with your name and your address. Thank you.
My name is Shannon Hubie, and my address is on record. I started out wanting to talk about many things today, but after many drafts, I figured this is where our focus was needed. April is Autism Awareness Month, And I used to use this month to educate those around us, but now it's about celebrating. Celebrating differences, progress, and boys who have climbed far more mountains than we have. And celebrating those people who helped them get here. We have 6 kids, for those that don't know. 5 boys, crazy, wild, busy, smart boys, each of them exactly who they are supposed to be. And our equally busy, beautiful, and smart daughter, all products of Clay County Schools. But our littles are autistic. And there are so many more words used to describe them. Words that make us sad to read all in a row. They feel like a heavy weight when we do, and they're written on paper, shoved in a drawer. And while they are true, they don't mean all that much to us as parents. Not anymore. For far too many years, we let those words predict their futures. We let those words consume us. And while we lost joy for a while, not anymore. These words do not determine their futures. They do not determine their worth. They are exactly who they are supposed to be, who God created them to be. And we promise you, they will have amazing lives. Did you know that when Bryce was diagnosed with autism at age 5, not one person told us anything positive about autism? Not one. No one told us about the absolute joy he would bring to the world. They told us about the hard, the scary. They told us about the darkness. But these boys are the light that everyone needs in their lives. We wouldn't be where we are right now, though, had it not been for the amazing village that we have built along this journey. The teachers, classroom assistants, occupation therapists, speech language pathologists, bus drivers, and monitors that have all worked with and loved our boys. We have been blessed with teachers that chose to go into special education and to focus on students with autism. Teachers that have gone out of their way to take classes specializing in ASD to make them more knowledgeable and to give them the ability to reach the students when others have not. Teachers that go above and beyond to help our students. The sad part is that these teachers are not always supported, and that is something that we need to change. When you have kids that want to learn and enjoy being in a classroom with teachers and the assistants, and that particular classroom shows amazing growth, even through crisis learning and COVID and every other thing that we put on their plates, maybe instead of doubting those teachers or questioning their abilities, we should look at what they've done, ask how they've done it, and will they share their knowledge. There is something to be said about a teacher who can build the trust and bond with ASD kids, and I personally have always been a fan of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Why make changes that could upset the dynamics and growth? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hubie. Our next speaker is Judith Chappell.
Good afternoon. My name is Judith Chappell, and I am at 1604 Royal Fern Lane. And hi, I know most of you ladies. And I am the 64-year-old grandmother of my 11-year-old granddaughter. I am not a disgruntled person. I want to make that plain and clear. I am here with some concerns. I want to let you know that I actually moved to Clay County many, many years ago for my children to be a part of Clay County schools. As most of you know, I lost my daughter last year to COVID, and now I am the 64-year-old mother of an 11-year-old. She attends Patterson Elementary, and I'm an old lady, as I keep saying. I am 64 years old. So this way of doing schools now is a little bit different. My daughter, she was in, my granddaughter was doing homeschooling last year during COVID. And so she spent a lot of time on the screen, understandably, because we were all at home. My concern right now is the amount of screen time that she is spending in class. I want to also let you know, again, I am not disgruntled. My granddaughter is an AB honor roll student, okay? Her teachers are amazing. She loves going to school. She's probably one of the only children who says, Gima, I want to go to school, okay? She misses school when she's not in school. But I'm concerned about all of these apps that she spends time on. iReady, Lexia, Achieve 3000, Prodigy, Booklet, HMA, Google Classroom, Savage, YouTube's, Synergy, Kahoot. All of these things that she spends time in the school. Again, I'm 64 years old. this is different for me. And I spend a lot of my time when I'm with her teaching her things that my teachers taught me in school. You know, is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Can you do it? Is that a verb? And, you know, I'm doing it. Can you do it? The things that I expect her to be doing when she's in school. I say, do you guys do spelling bees? The boys against the girls, one girl on this side, you know, those types of things. And those are not the things that I'm seeing done in school. I actually pay a math tutor $160 a month to teach her math. So these are my concerns. I don't know whether I'm 64 years old. Am I thinking like a 64-year-old person, or am I expecting too much? I do appreciate the fact that they're doing tutoring now for FSA, but I feel like I'm the teacher because I'm doing a lot of work at home that I would like to be done in school.
Thank you, Ms. Chappelle. And that is the end of our comments for this evening. Moving on to the adoption of the consent agenda. Before we do the adoption of the consent agenda, I know this is going to come up in Mr. Broski's comments later, but I just want to read the names of the proclamations. I won't even include the numbers, but in our consent agenda, we have a proclamation for Teacher Appreciation Week, a proclamation for Administrative Professionals Week, and Administrative Professionals Day, a proclamation for School Library Month, a proclamation for National School Nurse Week, and a proclamation for Month of the Military Child, Purple Up Day on April 20th. And be happy to know that we're not going to read through each and every one of those proclamations. We left them on the consent agenda. So I will hear a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move approval. Second.
Ms. Carrick has moved approval, and Ms. Bullock provided the second. Is there any discussion? Without any discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries 5-0.
I do want to point out that you all forgot your purple.
April 20th.
Yes, but didn't you tell us to wear it to the meeting tonight?
I thought we were
thought you
talking about
did.
April 20th.
I wore my purple.
I'm so proud of you.
You're a month early.
I'm not, I won't go. Anyway, our next update is from Ms. Kidwell for our CCA update.
Good evening. Golly, I was thinking, here it is, April, May, that's the end, right? And the beginning. Today, I just want to reflect on some of the craziness that's been going on around us and just kind of share where my head is at, where I find peace and hope, and that is that, the lofty ambition of America's schools is then we just continue to stretch towards it, right? We're not all the way there yet. As a philosophical statement, few would argue that the premise that every child deserves to be treated equally in our public schools is something they would agree with. We wouldn't dispute either that students need to be challenged so they grow as critical thinkers who can build a successful future. There's undisputed research in neuroscience and cognitive psychology which reveals that students learn optimally in environments that are safe and supportive. In fact, all humans operate best in such environments. Safe and supportive environments have to be the goal in our public schools. Caring, approachable, and trusted adults are essential for this goal. In Clay County schools, we have that in abundance. From our Clay County School District officers, our bus drivers, our aides, and our educators, we are all here in this very, very challenging time because we care about kids, all kids. Today, teaching is harder than it ever has been. Public schools and educators are under attack with rhetoric that often vilifies them, questioning their motives. There's a massive exodus from our schools as educators ask, Why do I stay? It's so hard. Am I trusted? Am I respected? Am I valued? Can I still make a difference? Because that's why I'm teaching. Now more than ever, educators need a supportive and caring environment to work in just as much as their students. Public schools and educators are walking a tightrope. We need to circle the wagons and understand that we who share in the mission to value every student must work together to find a way to remain true to that mission, value every student. I know that Clay County School District is driven by the same mission. These are exceptionally challenging times for our public schools. It will be difficult, but the mission is worth it. The public schools, they're worth it. Our educators are worth it, and our kids are certainly worth it.
Thank you. Our CESPA update is Mr. Roberts here this evening? Thank you. And he leaves as soon as I'm about to call on him. Our superintendent's update. Do you want me to sing while I'm waiting for you to come back up here? Oh, no, you don't. Is going to be next. Did I draw that out long enough?
You did. Hey,
Awesome, Mr. Broski.
I cut it down to 67 slides this evening, so it'll be riveting for you. There we go. So today's topic includes our climate survey results, our controlled open enrollment, where we are with that, state testing calendar, April celebrations, and school of the month. Just to kind of echo what Ms. Kidwell said, you know, for me, this is maybe the most exciting time of the year, because you not only are trying to finish the school year and finish strong, but you also are knee-deep into next school year. And it's exciting to think of the possibilities when it comes to next school year. So, maybe not. So one of the things that I had on there was the Climate Survey Awards. Let me just say this about Climate Survey. I tell principals all the time, it takes two things to be great. You know, anybody can be good, right? But two things to be great if you're a principal. That is, student achievement moves, kids learn. That is the primary purpose to the institution. And the second thing is people have to know that you care, right? It takes both of those things to move from good to great, right? So I've always made it my personal motto, no matter what school I've been at, and I've been at a couple now, is I always said I want whatever school I was at to be the kind of place where kids want to come to school there and adults want to work there. If you got that going for you, you're doing great, okay? And so part of that is you have to measure that. And you measure that sometimes with various data points, and we use climate surveys in order to do that and to kind of measure where we're at. Many of you heard me speak at the board workshop about the fact that we're in a people business. Everything we do is related to people. Right? It's unlike any other business because most businesses actually make a product, they sell a product, usually for profit, and we don't, which makes us quite unique. Well, you might have noticed there's a labor shortage that's happening out there in the rest of the world. You probably noticed that when you go to a restaurant or you go anywhere else, you can see that. I know that we were at Construction and Career Day, and every vendor there told me about what they were looking for. And what were they looking for? People, right? So you notice that I kind of unveiled a three-part plan at that meeting talking about recruitment of employees. And we need employees. You know, there's no doubt the teacher's the gold standard in the classroom and direct contact with students. But we need all kinds of employees, whether it's bus drivers, custodians, classroom assistants. So you have to vigorously recruit people in today's world. This is not the same world as 5 years ago. Things have changed. So the recruitment of people is an absolute must. I presented a recruitment plan that had multiple pages of strategies that are used in order to recruit personnel. We also talked about how to support those people, to just hire them and then that's it. That just doesn't cut the mustard. We talked about teacher support coaches. We talked about support not only at the district level, but also at the school level, and how important that was for principals to have a concentrated program to make their work environment the kind of work environment that people want to work in. Now, there is no doubt that we're truly blessed in Clay County to have the leadership that we have at those schools, and 42 schools, and I would send my own kids to any one of them. Okay, so really, truly are blessed to be in the state of Florida as well as in the county of Clay. The third part of that is compensation. People don't work for free. I see Mr. Faulkner back there, and he said he was going to work for free. No, he changed his mind. He's not working for free. No one wants to work for free. We're proud of the fact that as a state, Florida's moved to 47.5 as a starting teacher salary, putting us within the top 10. I think we were 26th prior to that. So that's, I often tell, I went from 18.3 when I first started to 38 in roughly a 30-year time frame. So $20,000 in 30 years. It went up an additional $10,000 in 2 years, right? That is dramatic improvement. Of course, we want to do more for our veteran teachers in the classroom, and we get that. But overall, compensation does matter. I just want to publicly say thank you to the board for your leadership and all the votes that you had, not only on this, but also on what we've done with substitutes and some of the strategies that we've tried to employ there in order to deal with that issue. COVID leave for our employees, you have to do those things, right, in order to attract employees and to keep employees, because again, we're in a people business. So I'm going to pass out some awards, but before I do that, I want to kind of also express that there's many folks out there that aren't, not everybody can be a winner and get the trophy, right? There's many schools out there that aren't going to be recognized tonight that are doing great and amazing work out there, but somehow you have to kind of narrow it down to a couple, and that's what we're attempting to do here this evening. I'm going to ask Ms. Laura Fogarty to come on up, our Director of Climate and Culture. Does an outstanding job with that group. And what we did was we came up with two things related to these surveys. One was completion results, in other words, percentage that actually completed, okay? Because you know that within the data elements that make up a survey, in order to have validity and reliability, the sample size as well as the percentage completed matters, right? And I'll be honest with you, it's a work in progress as to getting surveys that are more accurate, that are more reflective of what's happening at each individual school. But please know, surveys are only one data point when it comes to a school and how a school's progressing. So first part is really dealing with completion rate. The second part is dealing with overall winners. And I'm going to switch microphones and go down here. All right, let's see, who do we got first? First, in the completion category, we're going to call you all up here and kind of recognize you for that. How about Coppergate Elementary School? While Principal Metz is coming up here, let me say, one of very few schools that went from a B to an A during a pandemic. She does an outstanding job out there. She tried to teach me to dance. It did not work. I don't do my dancing while it's daylight, and apparently I was out of school during that time. Okay, next, Doctors Inlet Elementary. Miss Ayers does a fantastic job out there. We appreciate your leadership for our students.
Happy birthday, Miss Ayers.
Next, Patterson Elementary School. I see John and the whole team. So these are the winners for the student completion surveys. So we simply asked students, hey, do you like coming to school? Do you have an adult that you can talk to when you come to school, etc.? Fantastic group. Let's give them a big round of applause. Mr. O'Brien, you might want to hang around a little bit. Okay, we also have completion rate for the adults, right? It takes a whole village, it takes a whole team. You need not only students to participate, but you also need the adults. And so they had the highest percentage of adults taking the survey, Patterson Elementary School. Okay, this will be a pleasure because this person here, Orange Park Elementary School. So how about this? This is almost the last hurrah. She's got a couple months heading out to retirement. Miss McCullough. Well, you can stand right up there. I'll take a picture with you here in a second. Shadow Lawn Elementary School. Miss Whitney Johnson, come on down. Let me also say, Miss Johnson, her team, they're rock stars out there at Shadow Lawn. In fact, Mrs. Brodsky, when she picks a school to go to, always picks Shadow Lawn. The culture out there is just fantastic. Overall. Okay, now we have the overall category. So we did completion, right? Who actually took the survey? Who did a good job of wrangling everybody, wrangling their students, wrangling the personnel? Then the question would be, who are the winners on the results portion of it? So the very first one to recognize, first overall, right? Should we go? Is Orange Park Elementary School. Second place, Patterson. The Patterson team. Let me just say, I went out to their carnival. What a fantastic environment out there. Supportive group of parents, the whole 9 yards. You know, if there's a school out there that has kind of a great culture, but different, if you've ever been out there, W.E. Cherry. Josh Hogmeyer, assistant principal here. We didn't want to leave our secondary schools out, so the next three are secondary. So let's go. First is Green Cove Junior High, Mr. Justin Faulkner. Now, Halter will probably argue she had something to do with it. Maybe you're the secret to the success. Next, we have Orange Park Junior High School. We have Mr. Goose Day and Ms. Tucker. Let me just say this, too. I don't know if many of you realize this Ms. Tucker's retiring at the end of this year. Congratulations to Ms. Tucker. And last but not least is the alma mater of a certain school board member, because I remember I was there at one time. Clay High School, Ms. Jen Halter.
Once a Blue Devil, always a Blue Devil. I'm also an alumna of Green Cove Junior as well. Just saying.
Oh, hey, it's a big shout out to the Cougars. All right. Controlled open enrollment. Let's see, I might just have to wave my hand for the next slide. Maybe not. There we go. If you're asking about control open enrollment, since that's ended, we had 63 applications. 38 of those were from out of county. That's 60%. You can see the schools that had open seats, and you can also see the grade level breakdown of what grades they were in. Yes, no, maybe. State testing calendar. Let me just say this about testing. You know that this is the last year for FSA, and we're moving towards a progress monitoring thing. I know while many people are not in favor of testing, I don't know very many people that would argue that they are in favor of testing. I don't think any kid had woke up today and said, I want to take my test today. In fact, give me 2 tests today, right? Nobody out there is arguing that. I just wanted to point out the fact that the testing and the testing results are used for other purposes. And so remember, we use that information for placement into classes the next school year. And when you get to secondary level, it's their prerequisites of learning. So they do serve a purpose for that. Keeping that in mind, I want to encourage people to get enough rest, get something good to eat, come in ready to go, and to do your very best. We're always in the process of analyzing legislation. You know that the governor had signed a new law related to this. We've had many meetings. In fact, we had a meeting this morning, a long meeting related to how to implement progress monitoring and making sure that we have alignment in the curriculum and the resources that we have are the resources that are needed in order to be successful. And all that is going to take some time. Next year is a baseline year. Then after the baseline year, there'll be school grading the following year. Let's try it. Yes. April celebrations. First, it's National Assistant Principal Week. How about all those APs out there? You know, I remember I was an AP once at Clay High School. In fact, while Ms. Gilhausen was there as a student, a little claim to fame there. So I will tell you that when you're the assistant principal, the principal asked me, why do you want to be a principal? And I said, I'd like to say yes every once in a while. So many times the AP is the first line of defense. They're kind of the boots on the ground that handle some of the more difficult situations. And I thought, okay, being a principal to me was a whole lot better than being an AP. So I thank all the APs out there for what they do and being on the ground floor for us. Okay, a busy month. Just to kind of recap. It's School Library Month, so thank you for all the media specialists out there and all that they do with our students. Remember, April is the month of the military child. So we all know and appreciate in Clay County, there's an extreme sense of patriotism and honoring of our military folks, whether they currently are serving or they served in the past. But serving in the military also affects the rest of the family. It's not just the person who's actually in the military that feels that. And so celebrating the military child is this month, Purple Up Day. So you might ask, what is Purple Up Day? Well, if you took the colors of all of our armed forces and mixed them all together, they tell me that it's purple. I say they tell me that because I was never good in art class, and so I'm assuming that's true. So everybody out there, April 20th, put your purple on. It's Purple Up Day to celebrate our military and our military families. Teacher Administrative Professional Day. Can't tell you that much of what happens actually happens behind the scenes. And the folks that are administrative professionals are usually, I could tell you I had many jobs in our school district, and my professional development as an AP, as a principal of 3 different schools, as an assistant superintendent, always came from the administrative professional, right? You walk into a school, you're new, somebody hands you the keys, and the first person you meet is usually the secretary, and then she or he gives you the what for and where to go and how to get there. And so many times they're kind of the unsung hero. I'd like to publicly recognize Miss Honora. My wife Sue says it takes a whole village with me, and she's part of the village. And we greatly appreciate what she does for our district, and I know for the board also. Teacher Appreciation Day is May 3rd, Teacher Appreciation Week, May 1st through 7th. There's no doubt that teachers are the gold standard. They're kind of where the rubber meets the road, and a good teacher in the classroom does all kinds of amazing things for our students, and so we thank teachers for what they do. In addition, it's Nurses Day on May 11th and week on the 6th through 12th. Has the role of the school nurse not changed significantly over the past 2 years with all that's happened in the world? And we're so thankful for that. Little side note, a little victory in the labor market would be that this would be the first time in a long time that we've actually staffed all nursing positions in all of our schools. I will also add to the board, not all school districts actually have a nurse in every school, so your commitment is much appreciated for our students. There is no doubt that we have a tremendous amount to be thankful for. Lots of folks in the Clay County school system doing a great job, leading with a servant's heart and caring about kids, and so we're truly blessed. I hope everybody realizes that when you get towards the end of the school year, there's always end-of-the-year banquets, end-of-the-year celebrations. It's almost like everybody should recognize and be great. It's kind of like our Thanksgiving in the Clay County School District. So very, very thankful for that. Let me just say this. Fair Day tomorrow. What other school system actually gives a day off for the fair? Our commitment and our partnership to the fair is tremendous. Remember, you could stop by there 11 to 4. Miss Dennis giving away some free swag out there. So we're looking forward to seeing people. Tonight is also Clay County High School night. I never missed that, but I had to miss it for this. I was hoping to get a text to see who won, but usually it's pretty entertaining, and I will let you know which school won. And sometimes the reception inside this building is not very good. So the fair, hopefully everybody will go out there tomorrow. School of the Month, we want to thank our partnership with Community First Credit Union for putting this on this year. Again, another way that we're trying to recognize our schools and our employees. Remember, coming up, it's valuing volunteerism is the next theme. March was Movement Matters, and our two winners were S. Bryan Jennings and Oakleaf High School, so congratulations to them. And that is it for the update. So thank you so much. Thank the board, thank teachers, and everybody else.
Thank you, Mr. Broski. Moving along, we're on D1, and before I introduce this, I just wanted to give a little bit of a historical perspective. At the end of the last school board meeting, in my comments, I asked that we consider the referendum again for the millage, to continue the millage. This is not something new that we are asking for. We are asking for a millage that was voted on by the public 4 years ago. And at that time, it was held during the, what am I trying to say? Not the general election, but the primary. Thank you. Could not come up with a word for the life of me. Thank you. And I asked that we consider it and discuss, or at least consider it at our last workshop. And Dr. Legutko, thank you for the presentation and the plea that we continue to allow the community, the parents, to determine if we will continue to ask for the millage for the safety and security of our children. And at this time, I'm going to introduce then the discussion item to consider for approval and adoption of a resolution by the school board requesting the Board of County Commissioners of Clay County, Florida, to place a referendum on the ballot for the August 23rd, 2022 primary election for the continuation of an additional 1 mil of ad valorem millage tax. I'll accept a motion.
I'll move approval.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. And now discussion. And I know that there was one comment made, and thank you for moving and approving this.
So we could discuss.
Or not approving, pardon me, seconding, so that we can discuss and so that we can move forward with this. And if there are changes to this referendum, I've spoken with Mr. Bickner. There can be minor changes to it as we pursue this. And if you want to start, Ms. Clark, you had made the comment before, or Ms. Kerkus, whoever, I see both of you sort of leaning forward, so.
Well, at the
whatever.
workshop, and my apologies, I thought that's where we would begin a preliminary discussion. But I do feel that the general election would be better, mainly because there is a significant difference in the number of people that vote, primary versus general. And a lot of people right now are feeling the pinch. Maybe they won't go for it in the primary. We'll see what happens in the general. So, and I think on some other items, I have a list. I think one of the problems, now this was for basically funds for our police funding, because we weren't getting enough from the state. And it's correct, we're still getting $3 million from the state for the support for the police annually. I think the way it was written on the ballot was a little misleading to people, because at the bottom it said in general. And I think most everybody thought that millage rate was going to go solely for the school police. So I think we need to be very clear on the wording. And I think we ought to be very transparent and show where that 14 plus 3, whatever it amounts to annually, is going. So that would be some of my comments.
Thank you. Ms. Kerkus?
The language last time was for school safety, security, and operating expenses. And that is what this says this time. And because that's what was approved, I believe, 4 years ago. We are just asking to continue that same school safety, security, and operating. And I think I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that's fine. That it should go towards the safety, security, and the operating budget, the operating expenses. I like the idea of leaving it on primary like it was last time, and that's what I would support.
Anyone else?
I agree with the August as well, but, you know, we used a lot of it for hardening of the schools, and as we all know, materials are obviously increasing in everything we do. We're getting ready to build new schools, so we're gonna have more and more type things, cameras, all those kinds of things that we used for security. The other day, I went up to a school and, you know, those, concrete barricade, somebody had run into that. So those kinds of things have to be replaced. I mean, when you have those kinds of things that happen. But again, it's not an increase, it's just to continue on. And again, it'll be in the hands of the voters, our parents. And I've been very pleased with not just the safety of our schools, but also I noticed on the media when they did that, there was a police officer reading to children. So we know that, I mean, a lot of professions have taken a big hit. And I think this is an opportunity for our law enforcement to have such a positive impact on our students and that they see them as real people. You know, there's somebody who reads to me too, besides just the safety of our students as well.
Any comment or?
Yes,
Okay.
So I understand this is a continuation of a tax that already exists. It's not a tax increase. But I think in the current economy, families are struggling right now. I know there's a real pinch right now, whether it's the gas prices or the housing market going up so that everybody's property value is going up. And even though taxes aren't being increased, people are paying more dollars-wise in taxes on their homes. So to me, if we're going to ask the public this question of whether they would like to continue this tax for the school district, I think it's only fair to put it on a ballot where the largest number of the electorate will turn out, and that's historically always been the general. In fact, we've got new legislation from Tallahassee that takes effect, I believe, October 1st, is that correct?
Mr. Bickner, the new legislation from Tallahassee takes effect
October 2022.
October of this year. So to me, this kind of goes against the intent of that law. It's a technicality that it doesn't take effect until October, but the overall impression is that it's a fair way to treat the public to make sure that we're asking the largest number that's going to turn out whether they support a tax. And I've never been in favor of property taxes. So I feel like it's really important that we make sure that we show the respect to the community that if we really want their input, we're soliciting it at a point where we're going to get the largest number of voter input on this item. And I would be in support of putting it on the November ballot.
When I think 4 years ago when we did this in August. One of the things that this is 4 years old recollection. I know that one of the things that we've thought about was the fact that the primary ballot is much briefer. There's not as much on the primary ballot. Folks can read it, etc. However, I went back and I did some number searching. And in looking on the Supervisor of Elections website, you're absolutely right. It was like a 60% turnout for that election in November versus the one in August. The other side of this is, you know, it's one of those things where I also looked at when we did our half-cent sales tax, and that was in the November election. And it was very successful then as well. And I think that people have the opportunity. I get I get a little defensive at times with not with the public, but with comments that I read, and I know I should just ignore them. But it's one of those things that I want people to understand that we're trying to be as transparent as possible. That when we did the workshop, and we asked Dr. Legutko to present the information, it is now out there for everyone to see exactly how we have spent this millage, and that we did use this in operating expenses to support the insurance for our employees, which was huge at the time because we were getting close to drowning in that expense, and our employees were experiencing a much greater increase in that expense. Either way, whether we do it in August or November, I would just like to get it on the ballot so that the public makes the decision. This is not we're shoving it down anyone's throat. We are not making this decision. We are allowing the families to make the decision.
I think,
and the parents and the public. And if it means waiting until November and more people can understand what we're doing and why we're doing it, that's awesome as well.
And to Ms. Clark's point, to wait till November gives the economy a minute to settle down. And I think on top of that, the message to the public, if we can negotiate to a point where we can all five agree in this decision, I think that sends a unified message.
I think that's perfect, and I'm willing to, I don't have really it seems to me it worked well in August. And keep in mind, we're not imposing this tax, we're asking the voters. We don't have the taxing authority like our county commissioners do.
Correct.
We don't have that authority. So I would be thrilled if it was a unanimous vote and we were all in agreement. And I hope that you will all support it.
And just to point to what you were saying, Ms. Clark, this particular, the official ballot and the words from shall to 2027, we only have so many words.
Right.
Quite literally. And Mr. Bickner and I were discussing that yesterday, and that was one of the concerns, because we did want to add in for the charter school allocations, we wanted to make certain that we were covering. We were being as transparent as we could to cover as much as that we would be covering with this initiative. And there's one other correction on this. The supervisor of election, on the official ballot, the supervisor of elections only allows, and according to the statute, by the way, only allows a yes or a no. So we can't say yes, comma, for 1 mil. So it just has to be a yes or a no, which, that's a simple correction. I've also spoken with, and Mr. Bickner reached out to Courtney, the attorney for the BCC, and I had the opportunity to talk with her. And she has put a placeholder at the end of April, just in case. And we discussed it, and it's going to be a time-sensitive thing around 5 o'clock at that meeting. If everything passed, I will plan on being there and answering any questions as well, and really just pointing out this is a continuation of what we have had up to this point. This is the information. I'll have notes from Dr. Legutko's presentation being able to say, we're not wasting this money. This money is going to safety and security of our children. And in fact, we still need to continue to build on some of the schools that currently exist in addition to the new schools.
There's still a lot more hardening. There's a lot more to do.
Correct.
I agree with you. The legal minds have looked at this. Our attorney, the county commissioner's attorney, they were both comfortable with what the wording is. And so if we just have to change the one, in the notes or whatever it is for the general election instead of the primary election, that's an easy change, correct?
The way that I wrote the agenda item says, adopt a resolution in a form substantially similar to the one attached. So I can make whatever changes, the only changes that I would make or that need to be made, no matter what you do, is things that are minor, dates, deletions of the things that Daphne said the supervisor of election wants out. I have no issue with that. So everything else is going to keep it substantially similar. I don't think there'll be any problem at all.
Great.
And I just want to say, we've said it already before, how grateful we are to the citizens of Clay County to approve it 4 years ago. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't have it at the time. And we still do need it, and I'm glad to see that we're all on the same page. Ms. Clark, I keep turning my back to you, so I'm sorry. But I'm hoping that you're on the same page and that this will be a unanimous vote, because I do think that, as Ms. Gilhousen said, is very important. Shows a
I
united
think
front.
we all prioritize the safety and security of our children and our schools. And I would applaud Dr. Legutko with every year consistently breaking apart the 1 mil specifically in her budget presentation and accounting for every expenditure out of that millage money. So there's never been any question as to what that money was spent on.
It's been very transparent.
And it was very clear that we spent some on our employees' insurance as well, and that was covered under the other expenses on the ballot language. And I think, considering the hit that, and we're feeling it everywhere, teachers are feeling the pinch from the economy as well. So to be able to help our employees with the cost of healthcare, especially through a pandemic, I think was the right thing to do. And, I appreciate the board being willing to negotiate and come to something that we can all.
It's nice that we all work together.
Mr. Bickner, one quick question. Do we need to change the motion because the discussion item indicated August?
Do you want to change it to November? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
I'm hearing
Okay.
that everyone is
All
in
I would do
agreement
would
with
be
November.
is amend your motion. So move approval of the resolution with the change of the date from August to November, from primary election to the general election. And I'll go ahead and make that change. I'm going to have it signed tonight anyway, because the way that I've laid it out, I can still get a signature tonight. I can make the change tomorrow morning. I'll have it in the general counsel's office before noon.
Thank you.
So,
All right, I will amend my motion to approve the referendum to, do I need to read the whole thing?
no, you don't need,
I'll approve the referendum with the correction to the general election in November,
okay, you mean the resolution.
the resolution, sorry.
Yeah.
I will, you want me to amend it again? Say,
No,
repeat it?
No, we're corrected. I said the resolution, and you said
Resolution.
yes, so we're
Okay,
good.
thank you.
And I'm assuming that the agreement will be with you also, Ms. Bullock, for seconding it?
Second, yes.
Awesome, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you very much. We have D2, which is a human resources special action. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. Okay. I was on the resolution. I wasn't on my voting screen. I apologize. Mr. Bickner, any further comments?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clark, would you like to start this evening?
I would love to.
I'm so glad, thank you.
Basically, I just want to say a shout out to our governor for everything that he has done in the short time that he's been in. And obviously, we all listen to the news and hear a lot of nonsense. But I think the bill that, the Parents' Rights Bill, is a good one. It'll obviously be amended, as everything is. But it's a case, basically, of trying to keep the innocence of our children, is what it's all about. And I just wish the bill had gone beyond third grade. It's sad that we have to do such a bill, but I think it's important. So thank you to Governor DeSantis.
Ms. Karakis?
I want to give a shout out to Oak Leaf High School's Fine Arts Showcase we saw the other night. Some of us were there, and wow, there is some talent at Oak Leaf High School. They had art displays. They had live art going on. They had kids molding clay and painting. And they had their chorus perform. They had their jazz band perform. They were fabulous. And then they had some improv skits that just were as cute as could be. So great things happening out at Oakleaf. Then I was here for the secondary all-county arts, and I won't say much about it because I want you to share about Briley. But there's so much talent. But I think the highlight for me was, and I know we've all been to the fair, everybody's been out there every day, and Miss Mosley has invited each of us to come out over to the barn, to the FFA kids, and I know most all of you have. And I met with some elementary kids and their goats. And it was so much fun. And so, you're questioning them, how did you feed these goats? How did you raise these goats? And it was Tyler Brock, Aubrey Brock, and Raylan Vanderwater. And they said, come in and we'll show you our goats. So I actually went in the pen with the goats, and I'm in there, and I'm telling them this story about going to the zoo when the kids were little, and it was a field trip, and a little girl bent over, and the goats ate the bow right out of her hair. And so I said, if any goat comes up behind me and tries to eat me, you let me know. And they just laugh. And they bring their goats over, and Tyler brings us over, and while he's talking to me, the bottom of my blazer that I'm wearing, Tyler's goat starts eating it. So I had a lot of fun with them. And then I have to give a shout out to 3 of the girls that had pigs that they showed me. 2 of them were twins. Their pigs were, let me see, it was Talisha Vaughn had Buck, and Kalisha Vaughn had Hank. And they were 8th grade girls at, let me think, where were they? I think they might have been Lake Asbury. Wonderful. And then one from your neck of the woods, Amanda, and I didn't get Amanda's last name, but her pig's name was Dozer. And I think she placed like 5th place. Just amazing. And that FFA program is just phenomenal. And I'm so proud of all the kids that put themselves through all that work that they do to raise these animals and just compete. It's just amazing. And tomorrow night's the big auction. So anyway, it was just really great to be a part of it. Just to thank you. And I just want to say thank you to fellow board members for just working together. I appreciate it.
Well, yesterday and the day before and the day before that, this room was filled with beautiful artwork from our secondary students. And I was at the fair and I got this text, Granny, are you coming to the art show? And I said, well, I was planning on it, but I wasn't coming today. She said, you have to see my artwork. So I drove over, and of course, the traffic was horrible both ways, but when I got here, the work of our students is just phenomenal. I tell you, you think, my gosh, they could be showcased anywhere. And I was so impressed. And of course, I took hers and then took a picture and then sent it to her to prove I was here. But it was very nice. But we've had a lot of great things happening this past month. Middleburg High School, ribbon cutting for their new track. I mean, it's just, it's amazing when you go out there and you see, and when we talk about the hardening, I mean, they have all the safety kind of fencing and all the things that are needed. So I'm just so impressed. And we mentioned Caleb Moncrief. He and total of 24 students for the whole state have been awarded the Florida Dairy Farmers Academic All-State Team recipient. Only 24 kids out of the whole state, and he's one of those. And I think they share in scholarship money of $50,000, and of course, he's already been accepted to Harvard. So, I'm going to get to say I knew him when. But it's been like I say, we've had a lot of great, fantastic things. So it's a proud moment to be a Clay County-an.
Well, it's also a proud moment to be a Clay High Blue Devil. They really swept up the awards tonight. It was impressive to see all of those young folks, and Coach Keller and I went to high school together. You were his AP as well, Mr. Broski. Mm-hmm. You have been. You've left your mark. So anyway, it was a real privilege to get to witness that moment of greatness for Clay High School tonight. And and for all of our schools that brought home awards and represent us so well across the state. It has been a busy month for sure, and I am for the first time experiencing FSA testing as a teacher, and it has been an adventure. I mean, when you see it as a student, you see it as a parent, but when you're on campus during testing as one of the administrators and you see how it really affects the entire school campus, whether your classroom is testing or not, it changes the atmosphere of the entire school. And it's, I think, going to be a welcome change to have progress monitoring next year instead. And hopefully we will not have so many silent days on school campuses. And anyway, so it's been an adventure. I know teachers are tired this time of year, and add FSA testing on top of that, and it really, it grows exponentially. And I heard an interesting term, you guys might appreciate this, compassion fatigue this time of year. So I just want to send a word of encouragement to all of our folks who are in the classroom every day to not grow weary in well-doing. What you're doing matters, and those children depend on you. And you have quite the task in front of you, but I know each of you are up to it.
Madam Chair, I left off one thing, if I could just say, I do want to give a shout out to our assistant principals, because when I was principal, I was never called to remove a cow off of a PE field, as I was as an assistant principal.
Well, thank you to everyone tonight. It has been exciting. I mean, there are so many wonderful things going on in our county and in our school district. And thank you, Mr. Broski, for leading us into this and being aware of what our community needs are, and always saying that we are customer oriented, because I think that is critical. And in looking at this particular month of April, we have customers of all backgrounds in our school system. And so it's with joy that I say Happy Ramadan to all of our Muslim friends. We say Happy Passover to all of our Jewish friends, and truly Happy Easter to all of our Christian friends. It's going to be a fun month for many people, and I know those Easter egg hunts are going to be starting soon. Also, just huge thanks to our teachers and administrative personnel. And, 1 week out of the year seems like so little, but truly that 1 week is always so very special. And we want to say thank you to everyone. And on that note, we will call it an evening. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, guys.